Hi, and welcome to your EFT tapping video for to-do list stress. My name is Bianca Wilson. I'm an artist and clinical EFT tapping practitioner. If you're new to tapping, you can check out some of my earlier videos, my long form ones, or my short videos to give you a little bit of background on what EFT tapping is, how it works, what it does. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into the material. So I hope this is something that you can come back to over and over again. I know that for me, my to-do list can be substantial. And so this is really helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling resistance, when you're feeling stressed out about all the things that have to get done. So if you are able to, it's actually really helpful in these moments to actually look at your to-do list. So if you have it on your phone, or if you have it written down, or if you have it on your computer, anywhere that you just have all the things that you are dealing with for the day or for that week, if you can actually have that out, that'll be really helpful. So if you need to pause this and give yourself a moment to do that, go ahead and pause. Otherwise, go ahead and take a look at your to-do list. And just begin to notice as you look at it, what's already happening. What's already happening in your body, what's happening emotionally. If you are a visual person, perhaps there's some visuals that are coming to mind. And then just begin to notice on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, this is not serious at all, 10 being like, whoo, this is intense. Notice what the intensity level of either the feeling in your body, the physical sensation is, or the emotional experience that you're having, or the intensity of the visuals that you're having. And if you are having physical sensations, I would just recommend that you just choose one. A lot of times the body can communicate in a lot of different ways, but I would just say for the sake of this video and for keeping things focused, to just choose one area, the one that's the loudest. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and start tapping on the side of the hand, and you can repeat either out loud. You can repeat after me either out loud or in your mind, whatever's going to be the most comfortable for you. Okay, let's go ahead and start tapping. Let's go ahead and just take a deep breath in through the nose, breathing into the belly and breathing out. Yeah, and just letting yourself settle. And then repeating after me, even though I have this to-do list that is causing me to feel, and say what you're feeling, overwhelm, anxiety, panic. I choose to have compassion for myself. And it is completely valid that I feel this way. And keep tapping on the side of the hand, even though when I look at this to-do list, I feel some things in my body. And go ahead and say it's just one of the things that you're feeling as you just look at this to-do list. I choose to have compassion for myself. Because of course I would feel this way. Anybody would feel this way. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Even though this to-do list is overwhelming, stressful, it makes me feel, and what do you feel when you look at this to-do list? I choose to have a lot of compassion for myself because it is completely valid that I feel this way. Good. Let's go ahead and tap on the top of the head. Take another deep breath in here. Good. Let's go ahead and tap on the eyebrow point. And as you tap on the eyebrow point, if you can, go ahead and take a look at that to-do list. And if you don't physically have it in front of you, that's fine. Just think of it in your head. tapping on the side of the eye. Just looking at or thinking about my to-do list makes me feel, and then go ahead and say, like, what is the emotion just looking at this to-do list or just thinking about this to-do list? What immediately happens? What do you feel? Tapping underneath the nose. Tapping underneath the eye. And I feel this in where do you feel this overwhelm or this stress or whatever it is that you're feeling? Where do you feel it in your body? Go ahead and just take stock. Where do I feel this in my body? Tapping underneath the nose. Of course I would feel this way. Tapping on the chin. Anybody would feel this way. Tapping on the collarbone point. How will I get all of these things done? Tapping underneath the arm. And again, as you tap underneath the arm, go ahead and look at or think of the to-do list. Tapping on top of the head. I feel so stressed looking at this or thinking about this list. Where do I even begin? Tapping on the eyebrow point. And as you tap on the eyebrow point, again, notice as you think about or look at your list, notice where you feel that sensation, right? Like if you have a tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, you feel a buzzing in the body, maybe a visual is coming to mind. Go ahead and tune into that. Go ahead and if you can, breathe into the area. If you are feeling it physically, as you tap on the eyebrow point, breathe into the area that you're feeling this sensation or this emotion. Tapping on the side of the eye. All of this, and say what the emotion is. And say where it is. So maybe it's all this overwhelm in my chest. Tapping underneath the eye. Of course I would feel this way. Tapping underneath the nose. It's okay that I feel this way. Tapping on the chin. As you tap on the chin, I want you to choose what is the one thing on there. If you could choose one thing that's causing you the most kind of tension or panic or overwhelm, go ahead and choose that one thing, either looking at it or thinking about it. Tapping on the collarbone point. And again, notice what happens to the body. Does your breathing get more shallow? Do you feel yourself having tension in the shoulders? Go ahead and say, as I think about or as I look at this one thing on my list, I can feel my body do, or I can feel the emotion of tapping underneath the arm. And again, if you feel it physically, or you feel it emotionally, seeing if you can breathe into the area as I look at this one thing on my list that's causing me the most stress. Seeing if you can just breathe into the area where you feel it. Tapping on the top of the head. The more that I tap and give a voice to this overwhelm and this stress, tapping on the eyebrow point, the more I can start to let it go. Tapping on the side of the eye. And as you tap on the side of the eye, I'm going to stay quiet for a moment. You can even pause this. I just want you to give this overwhelm or this stress a voice, right? So if you look at this one thing, or if you're looking at your whole list, if this overwhelm or this sensation in your body could speak, what would it say? This is too hard. I can't possibly get this done. There's not enough time in the day. I'm tired. Go ahead as you tap on the side of the eye. Give that stress, that panic, that overwhelm, give it a voice. Not to make it more true, but to start to let it go. Tapping underneath the eye. I'm going to give you a couple more moments here as well. As you tap underneath the eye, give yourself a chance to just speak. If this could say what it needed to say, what would this emotion, the sensation, this stress, this overwhelm, what does it need you to know? What does it need to get off its chest? Tapping underneath the nose. Maybe I can start to let this go. Tapping on the chin. Maybe before anything else changes about this to-do list, tapping on the collarbone point. Maybe I can change how I feel about my to-do list. Tapping underneath the arm. Maybe I can start to remind myself that I can only do so much. Tapping on the top of the head. And that's okay. Tapping on the eyebrow point. And as you tap on the eyebrow point, I want you to start to think about and reflect on, well, how do I want to feel about this to-do list? How do I want to feel as I approach these things that have to get done? And maybe start to think about practically what actually has to get done today or this week, and what can be shifted to another time or delegated to someone else. Tapping on the side of the eye. And as you tap on the side of the eye here, saying, even if nothing changes, maybe I can start to feel, how do you want to feel about my to-do list? Tapping underneath the eye. And as you tap underneath the eye, just starting to imagine, in an ideal world, how would I approach this to-do list? How would I feel doing these things? And you can say it out loud, or as you tap underneath the nose, you can start to sense it. You can start to imagine, oh, maybe I feel really grounded. I feel really clear. I feel really spacious. And as you tap on the chin, imagining yourself tapping that new experience in. And maybe you have a time recently where you did get all of your stuff done, or you got stuff done in a way that was really nourishing, in a way that was very grounded, in a way that was very practical and clear. So you can call on these moments, these reference points that we've already had, if that's helpful. Otherwise, just imagine, how do I want to feel approaching this to-do list? Imagine it, feel it in the body. I feel a spaciousness in my chest. I feel relaxation in my body. Tapping on the collarbone point. I can control how I feel and how I approach my to-do list. I do have that power. Tapping underneath the arm. And I'm choosing to feel. And how do you want to feel as I take on my to-do list? Good. And let's go ahead and close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Excellent. And then notice, what's that number? On a scale of 1 to 10, when we started, and then noticing what it feels like now. If it didn't move, totally fine. I would say just get more specific, like what's the one thing on the to-do list that is causing you to feel the most like feeling, and just tapping on that and seeing if that lowers the overall stress of the list. If your number went down, great. That means that you were really actively releasing stress around it. And if the number went up, great. That means that there's just more tapping to do, and that there's more things that need to be released. So you might want to repeat this or just continue tapping on your own. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this is something you can come back to whenever you're starting to feel that to-do list overwhelm. And in the meantime, keep tapping. I'll see you soon.